I'm trying to fucking pay attention to driving, dudes. And I'm trying to fucking quit cursing, okay? I'm gonna actually try to do this without saying any curse words. I think there was, well, I don't remember. I think I've always cursed, but I think that it's gotten totally out of control lately. And it's like anybody who watches our show is going to have an open mind, or they'll have a closed mind and be annoying. Grandma, I'm grieving. I know, honey. I'm grieving, Grandma. Turn on the air conditioner just a touch for me. I'm grieving. My grandma's listening to grief loss shit constantly. It's fucking ridiculous, Grandma. I know. One of the things that was one of many major factors. There's traffic, so I gotta pay attention to driving. One of many major factors that contributed to my, there are a lot of factors, not just one, but one of them, one major factor that contributed to my addictive personality. I'm much more than just an addict. I'm a completely addictive personality, and I can basically get addicted to anything. So, you know, some people are like, well, I'm a this addict or a that addict. And those are people who are on, you know, obviously on some level conscious that they're addicts. So they're naming their addiction, but they're like, I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm Jodi and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm Jodi, I'm an overeater. Hi, I'm Jodi and I'm a narcotics addict or whatever. And I'm really not any of those, but I could be any of those. Oh, I forgot to wear this on my birthday yesterday. Damn it. I was blaming Darren for all the chaos in my life. He's definitely brought a major amount of chaos to my life. But I'm a naturally chaotic person at this point, and I don't like it. Anyway, one of the major factors of my addiction, my addictive personality, which is to say I'm basically addicted to anything and everything that you can be addicted to, or I'm potentially addicted to it. Like, I'm not an alcoholic, but I've sure had a lot to drink, and if I tell people that I'm not an alcoholic, they don't believe me. And also, I kind of just let people believe I'm an alcoholic. Oh, well, got a call coming in. My psychiatrist is calling me. It better be good, because I've got to see her tomorrow. My new psychiatrist. I'm gonna get this fucking set up where the phone will kind of stay in someplace. I've got a body bag, but it doesn't, I don't like the way it does it, you know. Here's the body bag, you guys. There, you know. Anyway, the major factor, God, is grief loss. Grief. Like, I had a lot of grief, trauma, losses, deaths, stuff as a child and young adult in my whole life, but that is unique. I mean, you guys are like, no, I have too. I'm not saying that you haven't experienced it. I'm saying that my experience is unique, and your experience is unique, but nobody knew how to grieve. Nobody knew how to grieve, and it wasn't allowed. It was punished. So people who are punished for grieving, because grief loss, yes, you guys are now watching Grief Loss with Jodi. I am so sorry. But,
and don't forget about me.
Right. Because nobody, if your natural grief loss process, and grief loss is a natural process, everybody goes through it. If you don't go through it, you're going to get sick. It's going to come out in your life in physical illness, or mental illness, or addiction. And in my case, it's been all three, but I've been lucky to regain my health really well in my life and not have anything that was like what people would call really serious, even though I was seriously affected by stuff. But I turned to addiction stuff. Didn't turn to it. I was already an addict. I mean, I've just been always an addict. Since I was a little child, I was an addict. And, but I continued to turn to my addictions when I was trying to escape the pain of grief, not knowing it, not being aware of it. I'm not like, oh, I need to grieve, but instead I'm going to go, act on my addiction. No, it's not that conscious. Addicts are not that conscious. If they were, they would be getting well, So it was more like, I feel some sort of pain that's really unbearable and awful. I've got to go do something to alleviate my pain. And as I started coming out of some of my addiction stuff over the past several years, that grief came on me, and I was like, dudes, somebody help me. I'm grieving. I figured it out. Don't know how, but I did. My fucking therapist didn't. None of my helpers did. And so I started asking my therapist to help me with grief loss, and they were saying, I don't know what you're talking about. What? They didn't understand their own grief loss process. They had no education in grief. And what kind of therapist has no education in grief? Everybody grieves. Everybody on earth has losses. And it's a major part. It would be a major part of therapy. But so I kept asking my therapist, help me. I'm in grief. Help me with this grief. And she never even responded. Like, she was just blank about it. And so it took me I did find one guy and talk to him about grief, and he said he led grief loss groups, and I was like, man, they sound wonderful, but they cost money, and they weren't covered by insurance, and I couldn't go. I couldn't attend. So finally, 2 years later, I was like, this grief is so bad, so unprocessed, that I've got to find a place. So finally, I found a place that provides free grief loss groups. And I would provide it in the comments, but I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I want other people to have grief loss services, especially free ones. Just send me a comment if you need it, just send me a comment if you need grief loss, and then I'll provide it, because I don't want my audience members, who I'll go so far as to call my fans, to be attending the grief loss groups that I'm in. That's weird, you know. But if you really need it, I'll provide it. Well, Grandma, you out and about? It's the day after your birthday. How are you feeling? I'm feeling like I've been beaten up all over my whole entire body. And I hope none of you knows what that feels like. I'm sure some of you do, unfortunately. All over my whole entire body. And then like 2 days later, when my whole entire body is all numb and swollen and all, you know, feels like scar tissue, where your skin feels really, really thick from scar tissue and shit. Not literal scar tissue necessarily, but swollen and numbed out. That's how it feels like, what it feels like in my grief loss today. And it's bad because you're like, I am so numbed out all over my whole body that you can kind of feel the pain through it, and you know that pain is fucking bad. It's really severe. And it feels very physical. It's very visceral to me. And I don't know how this one's gonna be fucking funny, but it might be. I hope so. I hope it's fucking hilarious. You know, but I know some people are gonna see it as serious and stuff, and I pity those ones. I can't stay on long. I'm almost where I need to go. I want to cry. I've been crying a lot. Yesterday. Grandma, you can do it. You can cry. You can do it. Don't encourage me to cry or I'll stop. Sorry. I woke up on my birthday yesterday crying. It was a shitty day, but it was also a really good day. I had so many loving messages and calls and just love. I really did. I have a lot of wonderful friends. I keep saying that, dudes. I'm so lucky because in Santa Fe, at least, you know, some people here, including me, come here and they end up without family. So it's extra necessary to find friends. And I'm lucky because I have a lot of friends, you know, a ton of friends, and I don't even have time for them all. And I'm making time, and I'm gonna make time for more. So, hell, you know, friends end up saving the day. Whenever I was in Wichita, I had tons of friends there. I did an art show and poetry reading, and I just invited my friends as I'd see them, you know, throughout the month or year or whatever amount of time. As it got closer, I would pass out information and invite all my friends. When I got to the reading, there were like 4 chairs set up, and my art was being displayed at Watermark Books, and I said, I think we're gonna need more chairs than that. There ended up being standing room only. There were 70 people at my reading and art show. It's like, fuck yeah, I have lots of friends. It's easy for me to make friends. I will admit it's easy for me to lose friends, but it's easy for me to make friends, and I'm gonna put some serious effort into making more friends because they're fulfilling my life right now and carrying me through this. They're wonderful. They're supportive. They're supporting me in my grief. I say I'm grieving, and they're like, I understand, I get it, I've been grieving too. You know, I think through COVID, more people are aware of grief loss. Unfortunately, David Kessler, now I'm talking about all these fucking people that I wish I never knew of, but David Kessler said, no, it's not David Kessler, it's Ted Wired, says grief is a group you never want to be a part of, you know, and we all end up there. So I'm where I need to go, dudes. I wish I could just sit here and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry, and I gotta do shit. In our society, we're made to do shit. Oh, it feels so terrible, and I'm damn glad, because otherwise I'd just be a blubbering fucking fool all the time by myself. So thanks a lot for hanging with Grief Loss with Jodi. Thanks. I didn't even get to talk, but maybe we'll have one where I can talk. I gotta talk a little, but this isn't about me talking. I'm not grieving. Because I have a higher perspective. I'm up in heaven, but my sister, Dobby, and my grandma, and even that new sunshine needs to grieve, and the cat too. But right now it's all about grandma, because it's always all about grandma. Like grandma. Somebody said that everybody's got narcissistic traits. I'm like, of course. Who's so damn dumb not to know that? Some narcissist who's so fucking narcissistic they don't even know they're narcissistic. That's a damn narcissist. You're certainly narcissistic, grandma. Yeah. I'll talk later. I don't feel like talking anyway. Okay, catch you guys later. I hope this helped you. If not, then write some nasty fucking comment in the comment section, you fuckers. And then I'll fucking find you and I will fucking rip your face off.